Good morning, good afternoon, good night, whatever time of day it is for you. My name is Justin Coolip and a whole host of names. Now, I'm going to have this running in the background because everyone's going to be loving these images for now. I want to talk about something. Quadratum. We've been kind of sitting on the edge, and the most common thing people have been calling it is unreality. I'm not sure if that's the case. Um, the image for Quadratum has been this cross with the four dots in it. That indicates to me that it's something more, and it's the reason I haven't done a theory video in such a long time about it, because it is kind of a more than what meets the eye. Now, what I want you to do is take a step back real quick, um, and think about what we have always visited. We have always come back to the way stations. And that's what I think Quadratum is. Let's take every single soul that had a heartless and a nobody, and both of them have been destroyed. Because let's be honest, Sora has cut a bloody path through the universe of Kingdom Hearts. But unreality is probably the worst way of saying that. It really is. I think Quadratum is the way station. Whenever you die and your soul passes, it doesn't go into heaven or hell. It doesn't go to oblivion. It goes to the way station. It essentially it goes to this hard science reality compared to the floaty stuff we do as Sora. So now that we're in a hard science reality, we see that we have cars that aren't cartoonish. We see that we have buildings that don't look animated. And that creates a very specific type of situation for us when it comes to it. And if you don't know what I mean, we're no longer dealing with something that is in the majority of the things that we're looking at as metaphysical. We're looking at the physical. So if Kingdom Hearts is one reality, Quadratum is a different reality. It is the next reality. And what I think happens is once you become a Heartless, that reality moves along to the next person. You move on, that person moves on to the next reality. Sorry about that. I don't have editing software anymore. The stuff I did have is no longer good. So, if we think about that and what that would mean for the series, is you're in the Kingdom Hearts universe. Let's say you're one of the explorers in the deep jungle. You die for some reason. Your Heartless is created and nobody's created. At some point, both of those are killed. You find yourself in Quadratum. And we're talking about the people aren't the people who don't have like really strong hearts. We're talking about like everyday folks. So if you are reincarnated there. Now, if you have a particularly strong heart, let's say Brian, for example, or Sora or Riku, you basically reincarnate as whatever you are, which is a big difference comparatively to the other side of things, which I think is really interesting to think about because I think Quadratum is going to be our hub world for the next game. I would have to look it up, but someone retweeted somebody saying that they think that we're going to have 4 Disney worlds and 4 Marvel worlds. I don't think that's going to be the case. I think we're going to see 4 worlds that have a harder physics to it, and maybe 4 worlds that do not. So, for example, if I were to think about the worlds I want to see, Inside Out, Moana, Encanto, movies like that, those would do really, really well as worlds for one side of it. And then if you go to the hard science worlds, which I really don't want to do it, but I'll say it because I know people want it, you could have a Star Wars side of things. Star Wars has a hard science fiction to it. You could call it speculative fiction, but whatever you want to call it, we can call it that. You could do I don't think X-Men. I think that's still Fox. But they own Fox, so you could do an X-Men world. That is based in some hard science fiction, assuming people had mutations and the mutations changed like that. That could be considered hard fiction, hard science fiction. And you'd see worlds like that instead. I would like to have more integrated Final Fantasy worlds. To be honest, I would like to see Final Fantasy worlds, not just Disney worlds, not just Marvel worlds. I'd like to see some more Final Fantasy into it. I don't know if about The World Ends With You to say that I would like that in there. I don't know the characters. I don't know the actual system, and it's one of those games that I kind of missed. But it is something that I think that might work well within the series. They could also do 4 Square Enix properties and 4 Disney properties if you wanted to go through that route as well. There's a lot that could be there. I think it is going to be 8 worlds outside of the like final world. And I'm talking about like worlds we visit as like a gameplay world. Because I don't consider the final world as an actual full playable world. Same thing for like Scala ad Caelum. But that's what I think this is. That's what I think Quadratum is. I think Quadratum is essentially the way station to all the other worlds. Because where was it? You can move on, but you can't go back, I think is what they say. And it's over here somewhere. Like some people were pointing out that right there might be a walker foot. Like some type of foot for a at or something like that. The choice is yours once more, and then it says something about you can move forward, but you can't always move back or something like that. Or you can move to a different world, but that doesn't mean you can go back to yours. Which can mean that we might be doing something close to Order of Australia or Ascilia, or however you pronounce it. It is a Castlevania game wherein you go into pictures. And that could be a very similar thing that happens here. Is you go to a world and then you have worlds within that world. So we might have 2 hub worlds, 2 hub universes is a better way to phrase it. And we go to different worlds within those 2 hubs. And then the little X and 4 dots makes more sense. Having 4 Marvel properties and 4 Disney properties would make sense. You could do 4 Square Enix properties and then 4 other properties. Or you could do 2, 2, 2, 2 and just keep it going. 2 properties from Disney, 2 properties from Marvel, 2 properties from Square Enix, 2 properties from Pixar. And then you can have the same type of hub world feeling that's going on that I'm getting from this. But again, I think that he might not be able to make it ever back to Destiny Islands, and his mom will still be cooking dinner for him. I know it's an old joke, but I just can't help myself. But it looks like we have the focus gauge back. It looks like we have magic. And I can't tell if this is all cutscene or if this is interspersed with one. However, if you do leave this world behind, don't expect to return to the world which you came. That is what I'm talking about. And he said it weird, in my opinion, or at least funky. And what that could mean, very well, if you do leave this world behind, do not expect to return to the world in which you came. I think, because it's Dark Side, this is the start of the game. I think that's what's going on here. This is Square Enix and Nomura by proxy, or Nomura by proxy through blah 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 whatever, saying we're not going to go back to the old worlds that we've been to. We're moving on to different worlds. So as much as I like Olympus being in the games, I don't think we're going to go back to Olympus. As much as I like Nightmare Before Christmas, I don't think we're going back to Nightmare Before Christmas. I think they are making this as basically what in the IT industry is called a demarcation, where one thing ends and the next thing begins, and then we're moving on from that. But that's what I think is going on here. I think he's saying you cannot go back to where you came. And that's the important thing here. I'm going to get it right past there. There we go. So that's what I think is going on here. This is the demarcation in the universe. And more than likely, I think it's going to be split up like I said. There's going to be two... That's what I think it's going to be. Fuck it, I'll put it on the table. There's going to be 2 Disney properties, 2 Marvel properties, 2 Square Enix properties, and then 2 Pixar properties. And basically, Quadratum is going to be our hub zone. It's going to be our new Hollow Bastion. It's going to be our new Sanctuary 3. Sorry, I play Borderlands a lot too, so Sanctuary 3 is a big deal in Borderlands 3. I think that's what's going on here. I think that's exactly what's going on, and I think it's how it's going to work. I just hope once again that we are going to these places with purpose instead of what happened in 2 and instead of what happened in 3. 3, every one of those worlds should have had a purpose that he was going there for, not just oops, I stumbled on a world. I think it's going to be a lot different in 4. Fingers crossed on this one. But yeah, short story, Quadratum is a way station. You can use it to travel to different worlds, and I'm betting you the Master of Master has done exactly that. I think he's traveled to several different worlds and found that only a few of those worlds can actually summon Kingdom Hearts. And I think that's going to be the catch, is you can't summon Kingdom Hearts from just any world. It has to be specific locations. I think that's going to be the catch. If you have any thoughts or theories, put them down below. Reach out to me on Twitter, which will be in the links below. Reach out to me on Twitch. I stream most Saturday mornings. These next couple of weeks, I might not be doing that from the time that this is posted. But reach out to me. I'd love to discuss theories and stuff. And I hope I see you guys later. Good morning, good afternoon, good night, whatever time of day it is for you. And may joy be to every last one of you.